Just some guy talking here, and I know I posted a video yesterday, but unless you've been living under a rock, you know that there was a presidential debate last night. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. I have made it a point to try my best to not approach these videos from a partisan perspective, and I do not plan to change that now. So if that disappoints you, I apologize. But for the rest of you, I hope that fills you with some relief and some confidence that I'm going to take a different approach to this uh, than you are hearing from pundits on television or your friends and family on Facebook, social media. In order to take that different approach, though, I want to start with a stipulation that I hope we can all agree on, and that is that last night's debate was really difficult to watch. I would go so far as to say that it was uncomfortable to watch. And if you disagree with that, then maybe this video isn't for you, or maybe it is. So stick around. I will make my point, and you can tell me whether you agree with it or not. So, last night was uncomfortable and difficult to watch. And the reason for that was because it was a horrible example of how a presidential debate should be, or a debate in general should be. But it was actually a very accurate example of what our conversations look like in a day to day basis. Maybe a little exaggerated, but pretty accurate. So let's take the candidates out of it. You go to a podium and put whoever you'd like at the other podium, and let's revisit that stipulation that it was uncomfortable, uncomfortable to watch. And it is probably just as uncomfortable to be a part of. Now, you put yourself in whichever side you'd like, and imagine that the other person is treating you the way that your person was being treated by the other person. They were not conscious of or respectful of your time to talk. They spoke over you. They made comments under their breath or insults or ad hominem attacks. They didn't respond to the questions that were being asked. They made their own points, um, regardless of what the topic was that you were talking about. They talked about whatever the heck they wanted to talk about. How do you feel? How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel respected? Does that make you feel heard? Does that make you feel understood? Does that make you feel more likely to take that person's opinion and think about it and consider how that might impact your opinion about something? Does that make you eager to engage further in conversation with that person? No, 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 and no. It doesn't, right? It feels horrible. But people treat you like that all the time in conversations, don't they? They talk over you, they interrupt you, they don't listen to what you have to say, they don't hear you out all the way. You say a few words of something and they jump all over that, even if you were going to make a point that kind of changes the point of how you started the sentence. Or you make a mistake in how you said something. You use the wrong word, you stumble a little bit over your words, and they jump all over that and harp on that, and they get caught up in semantics or accuse you of you know something that you weren't trying to say, and they would have been aware of that if they'd allow you to finish. It really, really sucks. Now that you're thinking about how awful that is, go stand at the other podium and feel what it feels like if you're doing that to somebody else. Imagine that you're the person who's doing the interrupting, that you're the person who's not paying attention to the other person's points, that you're the person who is ignoring the question or the topic that that person wants to discuss, and instead going pell mell into whatever it is that you want to talk about, regardless of what that person's uh, with no consideration for what that person wants or needs in the conversation. Imagine that you're chiming in to whatever they're saying with insults, with snide remarks or sarcastic comments, or that you are getting hung up on a word that they use instead of the point that they're trying to make. And go back to how you felt when you imagined yourself on the other side and think to yourself, why would it be any different? Why would the other person feel any different than you do? but we do that to people all the time. Conversational skills are modeled behavior. Modeled behaviors is something that we learn by watching or experience or being around other people. Kids learn it from cartoons. People learn it from video games. We learn that stuff from our parents or our friends or the people that we work with. When we have bad models and we model that behavior, conversation is horrible. When we have good models and we model that behavior, it can sometimes be better. And I'm challenging you to reject the bad models that are out there and to start creating new models for yourself, for the people around you, because we are not good at talking to each other. We are not good at listening to each other. We are breaking these interactions down through our own inabilities to further conversations in a helpful, healthy way. And you can't change the way that the other person is engaging in the conversation. You can certainly try to encourage them to do it different, but you can certainly change the way that you do it. So, again, think about how uncomfortable it is when somebody is a horrible conversational partner, and allow yourself to admit that sometimes, way more often than we probably think it is, we are the horrible conversational partner. Think about that the next time you get into these conversations. Am I the one that's making this work badly? Or what can I do to change to make at least my side of the conversation better? Okay, that's it. This is just some guy talking, and I will talk to you next time.